Good morning, year R, and welcome back for another maths lesson. I hope that you're all well and had a lovely break over the weekend. Today is Monday, the 11th of January, and we're going to be learning to subitize quantities to 10. Now, subitize means to look at a number and know how many there are. So if I just grab my dice and I were to show you this number, you would all know that that's one dot on my die, one dot, and you wouldn't need to count it. Maybe if I showed you this number, you would know that there are two dots, and you would not have to count them because you know you can see 1, 2. So subitizing is to look at a number and to know how many there are without having to count them. Now, this is easier in certain formations than others. So the formation of a die, so this saying a 5, is easier than, say, if there were 5 dots scattered around. So we're going to start by playing a guessing game, and you have to see how many dots are on the piece of paper as we reveal the card. So let's get to it. I'm going to slowly reveal the dots on this page. We've got 2 up the top, and there's one more. How many do you think will be there? There are 5 dots. Well done. And again, there's 5 dots, like 5 fingers on our hand, because we know this is a high 5. We don't have to count that we've got 5 when it's every finger on one hand. Okay, let's have a look at the next card. What number will appear here? Oh, so we can see that there is a larger dot this number. Do we think there's going to be room for many more? Fantastic, that's all of them. Tell me, how many are there? Great, there are 2. Okay, let's looking at our next page. Do we think it's going to be a higher or lower number of dots? Is it going to be more than 2? Is there room on the page for more than 2? How many dots are there this time? You're right, there's only one giant one. Okay, let's see. Do we think there are going to be more than 1 dot on this page, or fewer, less than 1? Let's have a look. Also, the dots are smaller. How many do you think there are going to be on this page? Shout out. Let's see if your guesses are correct. So there are 8 dots on this page. So we could look at grouping them. So we can see that here are 3 and 1. So there's 4, and then there are 4 more down here. And we know that 4 and 4 make 8. So we could look and know that there are 8 dots. But we will count them just to check. So follow the small white arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great counting. Okay, let's look at the next slide. You might want to wait till it has revealed all of the dots and then quickly look and tell me how many dots there are. When you know, shout it out. Good job. There are 4 yellow dots. Let's count them and check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Okay, now our challenge moves on. I want you to tell your grown-up or tell me which pictures show the number 5. Now, I'd like you to do this by looking rather than by counting each of the items. So we might start with the hand. We know that that's a 5. We've got 5 fingers on each hand, and that would be a high 5. So there are 5 in the hand. We don't have to count them. We know that's 5. Are there any other pictures or images that you can see that show 5? Okay, time is up. Let's reveal. We have the hand, as we said. We have the pneumocon piece of a number 5. It's red and it has one pointy up end, so that we know that is number 5. Over here we have a tally chart, and we can see that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines going down, 1 across to mark 5. We also have the number beads, and we can count these to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may have been able to see that there are 2 pink and 3 white, and you know that 3 and 2 make 5. So sometimes you can subtise into smaller quantities to quickly reveal the bigger number without having to count them all individually. And finally, we can see the pencils down here. Great job. Okay, moving on to our next slide now. Which pictures show the number 3? Call out which ones. Okay, time is up as we reveal which pictures show the number 3. Good job. Okay, but the pencil pot this time only has 3 in. Let's count and check. 1, 2, 3. The 10 frame, or actually it's a 5 frame, has 3 hearts. 1, 2, 3. And it also has 2 empty spaces, because we know that 3 and 2 make 5. The beads this time have 2 pink and 1 white, and we know that 2 and 1 make 3. And the stones down here have 1, 2, 3. Great job if you found them all. Well done. Okay, let's make things a little bit trickier for you. 3 is too easy, 5 is too easy. Can you tell me which pictures show the number 7? Off you go. Okay, time is up. We'll have a quick reveal. Did you find them all? Okay, let's start with our pneumocon over here. We can see that the pink one with an extra piece is our 7 pneumocon. Well done if you spotted that. Then we move on to our 10 frame. We've got 5 all the way at the top of the planes. Sorry, the planes are filling the top row of our 10 frames, so we know that's 5. Then we can carry on counting, put 5 in our heads. 5, 6, 7. Count on 2 more. And finally, these cubes over here, we can see that we have 4 in this row, and put 4 in our head and carry on counting. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 4 and 3 more to make 7. Well done if you spotted all of those pictures correctly. Well done. So your challenge today for the next 10 minutes is to play a game. What I would like you to do is to collect 10 items that are the same. So maybe 10 marbles, 10 coins, 10 pine cones, and player 1 takes a handful of the items and places them in front of player 2. Now player 2 has to quickly look at the items and subtise how many there are. Then count them together to check that you are correct. And if you have won, you get a point, and then you take turns to swap over. Okay, so I might put out pencils, and I might put out 3 pencils, and player 2 would quickly look and say, I think there are 3, and then you would count and go 1, 2, 3. And then we would take turns and swap. Now, a top tip is to start with lower numbers So we're dealing with 2s or 3s or 4s, and lay them out in the same configuration as a dice, because that is a recognisable layout and it's easier to count them that way. So that's a top tip for making something slightly easier, and if you want to make it more challenging, you could add more items and mix up the formation to make it less recognisable and harder to subitise or count. So again, as always, we look forward to seeing how you get on, and I hope you have fun with this activity. Enjoy!